What if your next princess cruise could cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars less than everyone else is paying? Many princess cruisers receive casino offers that include free play, onboard credit, discounted cabins, and even complimentary cruises. But how does the Princess Casino program actually work? How much do you have to gamble, and are these offers really worth it? Today we're breaking down everything you need to know about the Princess Players Club, how rewards are earned, what kinds of offers people receive, and some important realities you should understand before you ever step foot in the casino. Let's get started.
Hi, we're Josh and Petra, early retirees traveling the world slowly while sharing honest insights about retirement and life on the road. Join us and share in the journey.
As you can tell, today we're going to talk about getting casino offers for free or deeply discounted through casino programs on Princess Cruise. Now, there are many people out there who live full-time on cruise ships, but then they also are people who live maybe a significant amount of the year on cruise ships, but not necessarily full-time. And some of the ways that they can do that is through the casino program with the different cruise lines, but today we're specifically going to talk about Princess. And in the beginning, we're going to talk about the program itself, but at the end, we're going to tell you our experience, our one and only experience with trying in the casino. And did we get a cruise? Did we not get a cruise?
How did it go?
Yeah. So let's get started.
So Princess Cruises operates casinos on most of its ships through the Princess Players Club. The Players Club is Princess's loyalty program for casino guests. Just like the casinos in Las Vegas or Atlantic City, the casino tracks your gambling activity and rewards you based on your play. The more valuable you are to the casino, the better offers you may receive. One thing that surprises many first-time cruisers is that Princess doesn't publicly advertise a detailed casino tier system the way some other cruises do. Instead,
the rewards that you get are largely personalized based upon your gambling history and your casino activity. So that means two people that spend the same amount of time and then maybe the same amount of money might actually receive different offers, and that depends on the games that they play, how often they cruise, what is their average wager, how long do they play, and what is their overall casino history.
To earn rewards, the casino needs to track your activity. For slot players, this is easy. Your play is automatically tracked whenever you're logged onto the machine using your cruise account. For table games, things work a little differently.
Yeah. So when you're working on if you're playing on casino tables, the casino staff, they will monitor your average bet, how long you're playing, and the type of game that you're playing. And they assign what's called a rating. And that rating helps determine the offers that you're going to receive later. So it's really important to understand that casinos generally reward what's called a theoretical loss. In simple terms, that's the amount of money that the casino expects to earn from you over time. It's not necessarily what you actually lose. So someone who might play for hours, you're going to win money, of course you're going to lose some money, and through that cycle, the casino will generate rewards because of the volume of their play, of that person's play.
One of the most common rewards is free play. This is casino credit that can be used in slot machines on board or to play other games. Offers can include $50, $100, $250 of free play, or even significantly more for frequent players. The amount depends on your casino history.
So many player club memberships, they begin receiving discounted cruise offers after just that one sailing. And so when you are playing in that moment on that sailing, then you can receive an offer. And these promotions can dramatically reduce the cost of future cruises and often will result in additional perks. Some travelers report saving hundreds or even thousands of dollars when you compare it to the public listed prices of that cruise.
The reward everyone talks about is the complimentary cruise. And yes, Princess regularly sends free cruise offers to qualified casino players. These offers may include interior cabins, ocean view cabins, or balcony cabins.
But it is also important to understand that complimentary usually doesn't mean the cruise, it just means that the cruise fare is waived. You'll still be responsible for like the port fees and taxes and the gratuities on the ship. So while it's not completely free, it still represents a very discounted savings.
Many offers also include onboard credit. This credit can be used towards everything on board. So whether it's gifts at the gift shop or some food items or maybe alcohol or cigarettes at the duty free, clothing sometimes, or even paintings or anything you can purchase on the ship. That's where onboard credit can be spent. Depending on the promotion, this can add significant value to the offer.
Yeah. So how do people end up getting these offers? And really, honestly, the answer is pretty simple. It's consistent play.
Many experienced Princess Casino cruisers report receiving stronger offers after multiple cruises, regular casino activity, higher average wagers, and longer playing sessions. Some travelers eventually reach a point where much of their cruise travel is heavily subsidized through casino promotions. Others receive occasional discounts but never reach the level of a complimentary cruise. Every player's experience is different because Princess uses a personalized evaluation system.
Okay. So looking at some of the biggest myths about casino cruises. So some people believe they can gamble strategically and earn enough rewards to travel for free. We've already talked about that. Even though the cruise fare may be free, you still have taxes, port fees, gratuities. But really, that's not how it works. The casino offer exists because, on average, casinos expect to earn more money from players than the value of the rewards that they provide.
That's why the smartest way to approach any casino program is gamble only if you enjoy gambling. Don't gamble just to earn the cruise offers. If you happen to receive great rewards along the way, consider them a bonus. But chasing rewards almost never works as a money-saving strategy.
Okay. So if you're already somebody who does enjoy like the slots and the blackjacks and the roulette and then the poker, then this might be of value and of interest for you.
Then the Princess Players Club can absolutely add value to your vacations. The possibility of free play, onboard credit, cabin discounts, complimentary cruises make the program attractive for regular casino players. But if you don't enjoy gambling already, there's no reason to start simply because you heard about free cruise offers. The best rewards are usually earned by people who would be gambling anyway.
So let's talk a little bit about our experience. And don't get me wrong, we were very much attracted to the people that we know that go on these cruises, and they're getting free cruises. And especially, you know, when we're doing slow travel full time in our retirement, that's attractive to us as well. Now, I will say, we're not big gamblers. We do enjoy doing it for a little bit, but we're very disciplined, and that we have a certain budget, and we're not going to go over it, because at some point in time we know that the house always wins. And so, although if you watched our last video, yes, we were up on that cruise, but then when we start going to other cruises, maybe we're not up, and we don't want to go big time in the hole, you know, so we have a certain budget. Same thing, we went in with a budget, and this cruise that we were on was a 7-day, and it had 2 sea days. Now, in the previous cruise that we went on, which you can see the details from the last video, we had, I don't know, like a week, because it was a transatlantic. So we thought, okay, well, we're going to be playing on more than just sea days. Mm-hmm. And so the goal was to get free cruises. So the first thing that we did, even though Princess is not as transparent with a lot of things that other cruise lines are, they still at least had a list that showed how many points you needed to get an interior room. And so we knew that minimum was 3,000. So that was our goal. And it was 3,000 points, and then for an interior room and $100 free play. The next step was 4,000 points for an interior room, and then $400 of free play. And then the next step was pretty dramatic. It was like 9,000 points, and that would put you in a balcony room. So really, we were looking originally at 3,000 points.
Yeah. So we decided this time, since we had previously used Petra as our guinea pigs, so to speak, for the Royal Caribbean gambling, we put it on my account this time. So we went ahead and said, okay, we're going to do our standard, you know, buy day, and we're going to play on these particular days out of the 7. In the end, I think we, you know, kind of made our schedule up dependent on how we felt.
Kind of did.
But on the first day, it didn't really look all that good. I remember we ended up going into the 3rd day budget, and still were like, gosh, I don't know where this is headed.
And meaning, like, we had kind of budgeted $400 a day. So we had put in $1,200 on the first day.
On the first day.
Sea day.
So with the first day, you know, we'd gone down like 800 right away, and we're like, well, that kind of sucks, because we went through the first 400 so quickly, and I was like, tempted fate, you know. I guess I'm becoming a gambler, right? So I went ahead and tried another 400, and it was like, okay, we're going to give this $200, and if it doesn't work, we're just going to stop, because this is clearly not working. But things turned around for us, and we managed to actually walk out of there with, I believe we were broken even, right? Or
we walked out with 400. So we had originally put in 12, but we walked out with 400. So we, you know, at that point we were down $800.
800 after day 1. Mm-hmm. And
that hurts. You're like, ooh.
Yeah, and it was very frustrating, because we were like, the other part was, so the games that we really enjoyed on Royal Caribbean, there were only 2 available on Princess, and they were really occupied. There were
at the times.
There were a couple of players that really liked those games too, and so throughout the week we kind of saw the same people show up at those games over and over again. And of course, we befriended them, because we were like, yeah, we really like this one too. So that was kind of tough on the first night, knowing that, you know, here it is, we're going into 1 o'clock in the morning, and these same players are stuck on those machines, and it's just not happening for us tonight. So we played a version of what we liked. Actually, I think we moved around a little bit that first day and played some games we normally don't play because the casino was packed that night. It was a very busy night.
Yeah.
So on day 2, we went back and we were determined to try and get on our games. And again, the same people were right there sitting in front of those machines for the majority of the night. And I don't think did we actually get to be on them on the second night? It might have been the third night. I don't remember.
I don't remember, but I do know that we did start to notice when they were there, and we thought, okay, maybe we needed to go, obviously when they're not there.
Find a way to time it. And one of the things that we learned from Royal Caribbean was that dinner time was a good time to go because everybody was at dinner.
Like early dinner time, 5, 6.
So we would go at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and the casino would be mostly dead, and then we'd be able to get on the games we wanted to play. So anyway, we went on day 2. I think it was day 2. We went back with our 400, and boy, did we do well, especially on that machine that had taken a lot of our money the night before. So thankfully, after that, we were now in the black and sitting on top of the hill, looking down pretty much for the rest of the cruise at that point.
Yeah, and it is important to note that it's whenever you're doing this, you need to find out from the cruise line when they stop counting your points towards the free cruises. So, instance for Princess, it is midnight of the night before your last day, full day. So, for us, it just the last day happened to be a sea day. But it was midnight before that is when the points stopped. And we had got to 3,000 points for the minimum cruise that we wanted, or I should say the deal that we knew that we could get. But at some point in time, we decided to play past that, and we actually got to 4,000 points under Josh.
As you recall, I said we were up on the hill looking down. So what I meant is we got to a point where I think we were almost 2,000 up at one point, and that's when I was like, why don't we just, we've got this profit, why don't we see if I can get from 3,000 to 4,000? So that kind of bumps up from, it's going to improve the types of offers we're going to get, is what I'm thinking. So we went ahead and did that. I got up to 4,000, and then we called it a night.
At that point in time, we were actually up $1,200, surprisingly. And so we could have just walked away, had $1,200. And then knowing that we were going to get an offer and do our best to find something to book, Josh said, well, why don't we, because we were having some fun, he said, why don't we use some money and get you some points. So with Princess, if you get to 500 points, then you get, I think it was like $100 free play. And then if you get to 1,000 points, then you get $400 worth of free play. So really that was the goal. And so we used some of that $1,200. I think we ended up putting $400 in. And we started that night. We started towards just trying to get free play for me on the account. So when we were getting the free cruise under his name.
Right.
And then we called it a night. And then the next night we went back. And we were playing and kind of, so this must have been about halfway through the cruise, because then we kind of forgot looking at points. We played and...
Well, we were doing really well and having fun doing it, of course, because it's fun to win. And so we're doing really well, and we weren't really paying attention. And at the end of that session, we were at 1,900 points for her. So we've gone way past 1,000.
Way past. So we were like, well, we might as well go to 3,000. And another cruiser that played in the casino had said to us, if you get to 3,000 and you have 4,000, you're both going to be getting offers. But at first we're like, but we don't both necessarily need offers. However, this idea was like, it's possible that when we're getting offers, we could actually each book the same cruise. So he would be in one room, I would be in another, and then we could invite maybe family or friends to come with us. And then when we got on the ship, we could just switch.
Yeah.
And that comment from that other casino cruiser was like, oh wow, that's kind of a good idea. So that's what we tried to do.
Yeah. I did want to point out that a lot of the reason that we thought, okay, 1,900, another 1,100 points was reasonable was because we still had this profit.
Yeah.
We had a net profit, and if we didn't have that net profit, I think we probably would have said, well, we played too much, but we're just going to stop.
Right.
Because, of the cost. But at this point, we're doing pretty well, and it's not like there's a significant cost. The other thing that's come out of this is, so early on, we couldn't get onto the machines we wanted to play on, and like she said, we used some strategy and said, okay, let's get there at times when people won't be there. But then also, I noticed that even when we were there at times when they were normally there, they weren't there anymore. It seemed like at the beginning of the cruise, everybody was there, and then they must have hit whatever point they wanted to get and decided that they were done, and we just never saw them. I think we saw this one old guy. He had blondish white hair, and he was there the first night, the second night, and then we didn't see him until I think it was towards the end. I think he popped back in for a moment, but that was it.
Yeah.
So after that, we got onto those two games that we preferred, and they did really well for us. So.
Yeah. So at the end, we did get our 3,000 points, but where were we? Were we up or were we down in the end?
Well, I believe we were up, and the reason I say that is because I'm pretty sure I spent some of that money on us at the spa.
We sure did. We ended up being $800 up, which we were, and honestly, we play these low volatility machines. So you tend to get payouts kind of more consistent throughout your play time versus high volatility machines where you go a long time, you're putting money, you're betting, and you're not getting much. But then you're heading towards, they're the ones that usually say like big jackpot, $10,000 or whatever. We play the low ones, but we actually did fairly well. Honestly, like we hit one, I don't even remember the combination. I just remember seeing the total go up and up and up, and it was like $1,200, and I was like, "Oh my God, we should cash out now! Cash out! Cash out! Cash out!" We did play a little bit more, but so we did have a good experience on both cruise lines. We were up both of those. We understand that will not always be the case. Absolutely not, because again, it's really meant. They say the house always wins, and I think that is accurate because even though we have our see you later offer from Princess, which is basically a certificate that you get and it'll have a number on, and with Princess, you have to wait 10 days after disembarkation to actually call to get your offers, and we actually have to do that. We haven't even done that yet. We could have done it yesterday. We kind of flaked and did other things. So we'll be doing that today to see what our offers are so that we could pick and get something scheduled. Now, they don't have an annual tiered program published. What we have found is they do have one, but it's by invite only. Again, it sounds like it's for more high rollers. That's fine. But from now on, even though we got the instant see you later offer, we will be getting those email and offers through the mail, like the hard, snail mail and email that we can look at and schedule. And of course, they're with these offers, the idea is who want to bring you on. Yes, we're giving you a free cruise. We want you to play more. Yeah. And so every time that you play more, the chance of you losing more
increases,
goes up.
Yeah.
And we know people who do this full time, meaning they live on cruise ships full time, and they don't always play in the casino. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Mm-hmm. we have heard from people that play regularly or that are essentially doing the cruise hopping. They said that when they go long periods of time without gambling, then the offers kind of drop off.
Yep.
And so sometimes they'll use that as, you know, a clue that, oh, it's time to go gamble again. And it's easy to understand, you know, how you can just forget about going to do that, because, you know, the gambling after a while, I'm sure, becomes more like work, because now I got to put my hours in, got to put my money in to get these offers, and so now there's something, a bit of work kind of around it. But then I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm sorry.
But it can be. And that's one of the things that, you know, for us, what we have noticed is there are people who spend the majority of their cruise in the casino, and they are playing on the low volatility machines to get the payouts more frequently. They're trying to get to points. They tend to bet the smaller amount of points. And when you're doing that, what we didn't mention is on Princess, you have to cycle, you get 1 point for every $2 that cycles through the machine on Princess. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're putting in $2 to get a point. It means you're also playing your winnings. Mm-hmm. Those also count as you cycle through. So if you're playing the lower dollar amounts, yes, you're going to spend more time in there, which the people who do that like to do that. They like to spend more time in their gambling. We tend to look at it more as a goal. We have to get this many points, right? And so we tend to have our wagers a little bit higher so we can cycle through the bet is higher, right? So we're going to get to those points faster. Plus, when we win, our winnings are also higher too, because we're betting a higher dollar amount. Because we don't want to necessarily spend our whole cruise in the casino, right? We like doing it for a little bit, and even sometimes when we've been there late at night and we're like, oh my gosh, we're just so close, let's just hurry and get these 100 points, you know, and we're like, oh my God, you know, because we don't enjoy it that much. Like, we enjoyed it, it's fun for a while, especially when we're winning, you know, we'll like it even more.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slog trying to get her to 3,000. I was like, oh God, can't we just get there faster?
Yeah. And so he was like, let's do some bigger bets, you know? Yeah. So we did some bigger bets and we weren't winning. He was like, okay, let's come back down. Yeah. So, but all in all, like, it was a good experience. And if you think about it, like, yes, we were up, but let's just think, let's say instead of being up 800, let's say we were down 800. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, you're getting at least one cruise cabin for 800. So that's like $400 a person, right? Plus your port fees, taxes, and gratuities. So that's already not a bad price. However, knowing that you're going to be getting additional offers to take. And again, we're retired. And so we can manipulate our schedule how we see fit in order to add those cruises in, as long as they're within the region that we're at.
Right.
And so even in the end, if we were, let's say we were again down $800, but we got 2 cruises, still not a bad deal.
No.
You know, so
overall it was a good experience with Princess, and I guess if you're contemplating trying this, then our recommendation would be, you know, just be careful, make sure you've got a budget in mind, how much you're actually willing to spend on a free cruise. Yeah. And you know, go in with some kind of a strategy, and don't just go and blow all of your money on the first night. Take your time and do some of the low volatility games also. Yeah, and even if it helps, because you can easily get, you know, wrapped up, especially like I said, when you're winning, you know, have an accountability partner that's going to say, no, it's time to go, you've met your budget. Because the last thing you really don't want to do is develop a gambling addiction trying to get these free cruises. It's not worth it. In the end, you're going to lose so much money. You will. So.
All right, guys. Well, if any of you guys that are watching have an experience or tips that you'd like to include in the video, please list them in the comments. We would really appreciate it. Like we said, we're fairly new to this. 2 cruises down. Experience is good so far, but we at this point are nowhere near being masters of the casino cruise offers. So if you have tips for us or people watching, put them in there. If you have any questions that we can answer, let us know as well.
Or just have any general comments about casinos, cruise ship casino gambling.
Yep. And then, guys, we will hopefully see you subscribe if you find this information interesting by making comments or giving us thumbs up. It really does help the algorithm. YouTube sees it as people are engaged, they like it, they help push the video up so for more people to see it. So we would really appreciate that. But then also we would love to have you as long-term subscribers and follow us along for our retirement journey. Okay, guys. As always, have a great week, and we will see you in the post.
That's $1,379 we just won right there.